Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to this week's edition of the Principal's Office. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jamal Maxim. I'm an igniter of champion leaders, and I help those kingdom focused leaders bring God's solution to education. And so I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited. Now, I want to say for those of you who may not be faith-based or kingdom-focused leaders, I still want you to listen or watch this video because a lot of what I share are practical strategies. But I just recognize one thing, that as leaders, everyone leads from a certain belief, a certain stance of beliefs. And so as you are leading, you're going to believe something that's going to come out in your leadership. And so for me, I have found that the best way to lead is from a kingdom perspective. All of the success that I had as a principal in turning around schools that were struggling was because of my kingdom perspective and my dedication to praying and hearing God so I could serve people better. And so I just encourage you, if you're not leading from a kingdom perspective, to go ahead and do that. And if you need help with that, reach out to me and I can help you lead from that place. But remember to comment, like, share, and save this video. Let me know which part resonates with you the most, and let me know how you are taking action. I believe in putting theory to practice, so this is not just something that you can listen to for about 10 to 12 minutes. I want you to actually take action and get some results from what I'm sharing. And so tonight, we're talking about 3 keys to successfully complete your leadership assignment. During the previous video podcast, I talked about how we had to be in alignment with our leadership assignment and how it's important to really shut out the noise that would try to tell us how we should lead and what we should be doing at this moment, as well as shut down people's expectations of what we should be doing as a leader and how we should be leading, because that will get us into performance-based leadership, and performing or doing things to get people to like you or trying to get affirmation is not good. Last week I said that affirmation is good for you as a leader, to affirm the people you are leading so that they know that they are valued. But seeking affirmation yourself as a leader is not good, because your assignment is not based upon your ability to get affirmation. Whether people understand you, confirm you, or whatever the case may be, that does not change your assignment. And so that was one of the things that I shared last week, and definitely go back and listen to that. Now, this week I want to tell you that now that you are aware that you have an assignment as a leader, I want to ask you what's next, because a lot of people go into leadership because they want to make a difference, or they feel this calling or sense that they should be leading, but they don't go with a specific assignment. They just kind of step in and want to go and almost go with the flow and do what they can do to serve. But I want to challenge you to be more intentional. As a leader, there's a specific assignment, and now that you know that you have an assignment, what's next? What's your next steps? Because it's good to know that, but what do you do now? And so here are 3 things I'm going to tell you that you need to successfully complete that assignment. And the first one is vision. Even though the school where you work may have a vision, or you may be developing a vision, but you need to have a vision that highlights your assignment as a leader, because many leaders get distracted by making these big, long mission statements and vision statements and talking about the difference between mission and vision. Now, for you, I'm going to just say that don't deal with that. Don't worry about that. Don't let that distract you where you're trying to make something formal. Your assignment and the solution you are bringing to the school, you need to be able to see it and have a vision for it. Because once you see the solution that you need to bring and recognize that that is the reason why you're in leadership, then you can be able to have a vision and cast vision to get buy-in from the people you're serving. Now, because the vision is a picture of where you're going. And so you have to have a vision for the assignment that you are doing. Where are we going with this area that you are bringing change, that you are facilitating change? Yes, we know it looks like this right now, but how will it look after you implement the solution that you received from God? And so the first key is vision, because you have to have that. And I'm not, again, talking about the overall vision for the school, because of course we have those, but you have to have a vision for your specific assignment. For example, when I led a school, my vision was to ensure every student grew by 150% at the minimum, and 200% was the real target goal within one school year. That was the vision. That was my assignment, to bring change that will allow kids to grow a year and a half to 2 years within one school year. Why did I do that? Because kids were 2 years behind. And so every year that they only grew 1 year, they would continue to have an achievement gap. And so my assignment was to close the gap for students. And so I had to cast vision. So what is your assignment? Is your assignment to build culture? So what is the vision, or what do you see the culture as a culture that's conducive for student growth? So cast your vision. Now, the second thing that you need to have, the second key to be successful, is framework. Your framework is your process of implementing the vision. It is part of your overall strategy for initiating change. Now, when I talk about frameworks, a lot of times people think about businesses and coaching where they have a framework. Well, as a leader, you need to have a framework. You need to have a specific process that you are taking your school through, or your people through, as you are implementing the vision that you have. You can't say, here's the vision, now let's figure out how to do it. One of the things you want to do is have your vision and have your framework, but then allow room for people to have input on that framework, or in how the framework is implemented. And so your vision is part of your plan, and it's your process for implementing your vision, so that you can initiate change. Because as a leader, you want to make sure that you are igniting and facilitating change, or forward momentum and progress. Because you may be in a place where things are going extremely well, but you're like, hey, we still need to keep it moving. So you want to make sure that you are keeping things moving forward and staying current. Hey, April, and hey, my man Maurice, it's so good to see you guys live. And so that's the second key. So the first key was vision. The second key was framework. Now here is the third one, which relates to the others. It is strategy. Your strategy will include your framework. It will outline other factors and ingredients that need to be addressed proactively, and it will include how you communicate your framework to get buy-in, as well as how you cast vision. So you have your vision, you have your framework, and now you have your strategy for implementing the framework to initiate the change that you know you are supposed to initiate, that you have the vision for. Now, one thing I want to say is this: do not get frustrated with people who don't see what you see. That is part of your goal and your role as the visionary. Sometimes people will not have a vision for what you see and have a vision for. The fact that it sticks out to you, and that you see it, and that you are the one who sees this thing that needs to change, means that you're the visionary. Your responsibility is to get it done. And that does not mean you get it done by yourself. It means you are the one who have to cast vision. If they didn't see it, it doesn't mean they can't or won't see it. You can be the one to cast a vision, to help them see it, where so they can come alongside you and lend their gifts and their talents to help you make that thing a reality. Because what's the point of having vision if it doesn't become a reality? So that's your third key. So now, one more thing about strategy is this: you want to always check your strategy to ensure it's grounded in the kingdom, and you want to be sensitive to when you may have to adapt, because you hear me talk a lot about bringing God's solution. And so when I'm talking about God's solution, I'm talking about you spent time in prayer, like I said I did, and you get his strategy, you cast vision for it, and then you begin to implement it. But then in your implementation, you want to check and make sure that one is grounded, and two, you want to be sensitive to when you have to adapt. Now, I'm not saying you have to throw it away, but you may have to adjust it during your implementation based on how people are responding. And don't feel like, man, I got this strategy from God and I can't adjust it. He will tell you when to adjust it, because there are times he would tell you in the moment to adjust. So you have to be clear on not just what he said, but what he is saying to you as you are leading. And so, because if you get locked in and it's time to adjust, then what you're implementing won't have the impact that it's supposed to have and that you are really assigned to have. So you want to be clear and sensitive to that. All right, so that's it for this week's edition of the Principal's Office. Again, I'm Jamal. I'm an Igniter of Champion Leaders. And so my question to you is this: what are you going to do with what you heard? How are you going to apply these things? As you are sitting with your leadership assignment, as you're thinking, now I have an assignment as a leader, a specific problem I'm supposed to solve, a specific change I'm supposed to implement. Instead of complaining, you're implementing change, and now you have these three keys that's going to help you be successful. How are you going to use those keys? How are you going to use the keys that you've been given to be successful in your role as a leader? And so let me know in the comments, or send me a DM on whatever platform you're watching, and let me know how you're applying. And I also want to give you an opportunity to come to a masterclass that I am hosting. And so this week I am hosting a masterclass, and it's called "It's Not the Same Thing." And this is not the same masterclass. And in this class, I am exposing 3 different spiritualist practices that are in leadership development that seem okay, but they're actually damaging. Now you might be saying, Jamal, why are you talking about that? I thought your thing was leadership. Yes, it is. And that's exactly why I'm talking about it. Too often in leadership development, there are practices such as disguised as mindfulness, things disguised as self-care, as well as meditation and laws of attraction. These things are being taught in leadership circles. Right now, schools, they're talking about implementing yoga in schools and other things. And so as a leader from a kingdom perspective, you want to make sure that you know the origins of these things and be able to recognize when they are spiritualist practices, so that you can really stand firm against those things and give the God solution for that. So teachers need to relax. You don't have to do yoga. God can tell you to do something else. And so I want to expose these things, because if you embrace these practices that are taught and you just keep doing it and you allow yourself to really embrace them, it would dampen, it will hinder, is a better word, your ability to lead. It will hinder your effectiveness and minimize your opportunities to fulfill your leadership assignment. So I want you to register for this complimentary masterclass. It's not the same. It's going to happen on Saturday, June 25th, 11 a.m. Eastern. Go to jamalmaxim.org/expose and register now, so that you will be a part of this masterclass. You will get this information. It's only going to be about 90 minutes. It's not going to be long. And I would just tell you. And so you'll see me going live, doing some pop-up lives and explaining why I talk about this in greater detail. I was raised to believe the new age. I was groomed to be a leader within the new age beliefs. And so I recognize that those things are not good. They're harmful, even though a lot of people are teaching it, talking about talk to your future self, pray to your future self. these things that are not good for you as a leader and will not only damage you and your leadership, but those you are leading, and will cause the place you are leading to not fulfill its purpose. So, I've had experience. I don't believe those things anymore. I've come to believe in Jesus. I am a kingdom focused leader that's in education as well as other areas. And so I am telling you, those things are dangerous. So I want you to register for the masterclass and join me just for 90 minutes so I can ignite you to lead from a kingdom perspective and dismantle these practices so that you can preserve the environment that you are leading in, and so you can fulfill your assignment as a leader, and the place you are leading can fulfill its purpose and destiny. All right. So that's it. Remember to register for the masterclass. I will see you, those of you who are on Clubhouse, I will see you in the Igniting Champion Leaders Club a little later on this evening, and we will have more discussion and dig deeper into these 3 keys to complete your leadership assignment. And I will see you then. So as always, I want you to be successful and lead like a champion. Bye-bye.